So let's move on to this one. It said like Final Destination 5. Yeah. Let's move on to this one. So again, speaking of Florida, speaking of Florida, DeSantis, our a lovely governor here, and I say that sarcastically because I don't like the dude at all, and my wife absolutely despises him. But I mean, this may be an unpopular opinion, but I actually like this bill being signed. So DeSantis signed a law restricting social media access for children under the age of 14. Under the age of 14. I'm actually in agreement with this. I think that in the US this should be a nationwide thing. I'm not gonna lie. I am vehemently sometimes I find it hard to say. I am vehemently against children being on social media. I don't think that they should in any form or fashion. Pictures are fine, but children who are under the age of 14, I would take it even lower than that, to be honest. I would say freaking 10, 12. I don't think they should be on social media. Like, you should not be conversing with adults. You should not be conversing with teens who are older than you. You know, there should be your own, like back in the day, like when social media was still young, like we had our own little social medias for like the tweens and the teens. That's cool, but like social media has evolved so much that I just don't think that little kids should be on social media. Like I'm even like so on the fence as to when I'm going to get my daughter a cell phone, like because she asked for it the other day. She was like when I get older, I want my own cell phone and watch. And I was like, oh, like you're 4. We're not about to have that conversation right now. Like, no. What do you need a cell phone for? You don't need one. So I am, as a father of now 2 children, I'm fully in support of this. This is one of the only things that I'm in support of that this dude Ron DeSantis has done. So we are going to see how this turns out, because you know they said that they're going to ask for age verification. There is no real way to do age verification on the internet outside of showing your ID. And I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I didn't get my ID until I was 15, 14, 15. And that was when I got my permit. So, I mean, I don't know how early children are getting like their early IDs or permits then. So, I mean, that would pretty much do it then. Like, if you're asking for an ID verification, and I mean, you don't have your permit, then, or your passport, then that would be an instant like, hey, you can't be on social media. So they're also banning. They're putting restrictions on pornographic websites, and I know that there was news. I think Texas, they banned Pornhub. So more and more states are individually banning things. Like I think what was it, Montana or Utah? One of them banned TikTok. So we're getting there. We're getting there with that. I mean, but those are with Pornhub and TikTok. Those are for everybody. It's not just people under 14 or under a certain age. But I mean I agree with this. Like I said, I don't think that children should be on social media. I don't think, whether they're, you know, super mature or not, I just don't think I don't think that social media is a good place for children who are under a certain age. Like, I've just been saying too many situations where you just shouldn't be interacting with adults. Like, it just doesn't work for me. It just doesn't work for me. And I think that again, this is just one good thing. And you know, if it goes nationwide, I wouldn't be surprised at this, because I honestly think that it should have happened a long time ago as social media continued to evolve. So the bill is called HB3, and it's going to go into effect January 1st of 2025. The one thing that I do wonder, outside of obviously how are you going to enforce this age verification, is what if your child is like a child star or something? Like, are you going to allow their parents to run their social media, which should be the case anyways? Like, again, I don't think that as a child that they should be running their own social media. Like, I don't care how famous you are, I don't think that they should be running their own social media. So are you going to give exceptions if your parent runs your social media accounts? That's the one other thing that I wonder. But I really want to know how this age verification is going to work. How are you going to enforce it? Because again, it's just very difficult. Like, you can just put, hey, what is your date of birth? People lie on that every single time. So if that's literally what you are trying to use as a barrier, then that's not going to work. So how are you truly going to require age verification? Like, because that's just going to be, it's not even a band-aid at this point. It's like just saying, hey, are you under 14? Like, that's not going to work. Just putting your age or date of birth, that's not going to work at all. Like, any website that has that or anything that's age restricted, that doesn't matter. So all you gotta do is just click okay, like, I am over 14, and then that's it. Like, really? That doesn't do anything at all. So I truly want to see how this works. I truly want to see how this works. But this article also says states including Arkansas, California, Louisiana, Ohio, and Utah have put similar bills to regulate tech platforms. And we're going to see. We are going to see. Have them show a picture. That's what I was saying, Dust. I was saying that's the only true way that you can do age verification is going to be ID. And I literally brought up the point. I was like, well, how many children under 14 have their IDs? Like, because I didn't have any sort of ID or verification until I turned 15 and I got my permit. So, like I said, I don't know if things change now. I know that, like, my daughter has a passport. Like, she has a passport now. She got a passport when she was 1. Yeah, I think she got a passport when she was 1 because we got on the cruise and we're going to get one for my son here soon. And I ain't have a passport until I was 27, 28. So, and that's because, yeah, we was in the Caribbean, so I needed one. So, but I didn't have an ID when I was young. Like, the only thing I had that would identify myself would be my mom saying so. And then social security card and birth certificate, but ID I didn't have one, so I don't know. I don't know if how things have changed. So again, if I don't expect any little kids to be in here, and I may need to ask. I'm like, do y'all have IDs? Being under 14. So I don't know. We'll see. And that's it on that. But yeah, I think this is, like I said, I agree with it. This is not a bad thing. If anyone who does think it's a bad thing, I would love to know your reasons why. Because again, I don't think the kids underneath 14 and like I said, I would go lower than that. I would go 12, 10. I don't think they need to be on social media, like, seeing all these things, because Twitter, for example, is just a huge just website of information being thrown at you left and right, and a lot of that stuff I just don't feel like children need to see. I just don't feel like they need to see, because it's just a lie. A lot of, I mean, you got these freaking sec bots on here. Every time there's a popular tweet, then they're like, nudes in bio. Like, it's so much sex alone, like so much porn alone on Twitter. It's ridiculous, man. These bots are crazy, man. These bots are crazy. Yeah, like, it's just like, and again, nobody cares. They're just trying to get their impressions up. Yeah, all the real, like I said, I can't even tell whether they're real or fake nowadays, because they be tweeting like they're real people now. Who want to see me go live? I bet I look better than her. Like, this just be like, it's nasty. Like, these threads, if you search some popular threads, you'll see some nasty stuff. And like I said, I'm not trying to have my children see that. I'm sorry, and I don't think you would either. And if you do as a parent, then you need to get yourself checked too. You know what I'm saying? I will say that whether I had kids or not. That's nasty if you allow your children to see that type of stuff. So it is what it is. Like I said, I'm all for it. I hope this goes nationwide, to be honest. It needs to happen. So that's that. And that's it. That's all I want to talk about. We'll talk about new media on Thursday, but I had a good conversation topic that I wanted to bring up, and it was new media versus traditional media, because I feel like a war is brewing up between those two, new media and traditional journalism. Like, in sports world, it's kind of crazy. And I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it in the gaming world now with Kotaku. A lot of people on Kotaku's head, a lot of people on IGN's head about traditional journalism versus new media. Like, who are you really gonna listen to when it comes to your gaming opinions? Who's really speaking the truth? Who's grifting? Who's not? So it's a lot of stuff going on, man. But it has trickled more into the video game world. So we'll talk about that another day. We'll talk about that another day. Yeah, it really is, man. Like, it's nasty. It's nasty out here with that. So, all right.